The Rinnan Gang was one of the most feared groups in occupied Norway during World War II. Led by Henry Oliver Rinnan, this unit of informers and collaborators became a deadly weapon for the Gestapo in the fight against the Norwegian resistance. Operating from their base, a villa in Jonsvansveien 46 in Trondheim, they combined deception, infiltration, and terror to dismantle resistance networks across central Norway. The gang began as a small group of local informers but grew into a sophisticated counter-resistance organization. Members were recruited for their loyalty to Rinnan and their willingness to deceive fellow Norwegians. Many had criminal backgrounds or were drawn by the promise of power, money, or revenge. Rinnan trained them to pose as resistance fighters, gain trust, and then betray those they infiltrated. Once the targets revealed their secrets, the Gestapo would strike. The villa became infamous. Inside its walls, prisoners were interrogated, beaten, and tortured. Resistance members who had risked their lives for freedom often ended up trapped by the very people they thought were comrades. The Rinnan Gang's operations led to hundreds of arrests, deportations, and executions. Their victims included students, teachers, priests, and ordinary citizens who refused to submit to Nazi rule. The group's power extended far beyond Trondheim. They traveled through Trøndelag, Møre, and parts of northern Norway, spreading fear wherever they went. Even whispers of infiltration by Rinnan's people were enough to paralyze local resistance cells. Trust became dangerous. The sense of paranoia the gang created fractured the underground movement and made organizing resistance far more difficult. After the war, the full extent of their betrayal became clear. Over 80 members were charged with treason and collaboration. Rinnan himself, captured while trying to flee, was executed in 1947. Several of his closest associates received long prison sentences or faced the firing squad. The villa was later torn down, but its memory remains one of the darkest symbols of wartime Norway. The Rinnan Gang represents more than collaboration. It represents the corrosion of trust under occupation. They turned deception into a weapon and used familiarity as bait. In a small country where everyone seemed to know everyone, their treachery cut deep. Their story stands as a grim warning of how occupation and ideology can twist loyalty into something lethal.